Hello, I'm Seerath, and today I'm here to discuss event variables in Google Tag Manager. So, sometimes in Google Tag Manager, we need to take actions at a very specific time, like on a particular click or on a particular action taken by the user. We want to, let's say, fire a tag or send some information to Google Analytics. For that, we have event variables. Now, there are two types of event variables: auto event variables and custom event variables. And we are going to look at them in detail today. And we will see that how can we use them to our advantage and how can they be helpful to us. So first of all, let us go to the variables section. And if we scroll down in the user defined variables, we will be able to find those like auto event variables and custom event variables. I click variable configuration, and here we have auto event variable and custom event. So first, let's look at custom event. So this one in particular is very simple, and it also says here that no configuration is required. So what does this do? This basically fetches the name of the variable and stores it. It fetches the name of the event that is happening and stores it inside this variable. Like I have already created one. Here, the name of the event that is happening will be fetched and will be stored inside CE event, right? So let's go to the preview mode and see that how is it working. So I will click connect here and this will open up, right? So let's go back to our tag assistant and click continue. Now, if I come to variables here, I see that CE event displays a value gtm.init underscore consent. And if I click here, the value will change based on event. Now, the thing to notice here is that this variable underscore event and the one here event also displays the same value. So this CE event is kind of redundant and we won't be using it much because if we want, then we can already get the value of the event using these two underscore event or event, right? So, but this is just to understand that, okay, something like this exists in Google Tag Manager. And if we need, we can do it. So now this was the custom event variable. And now we will see an auto event variable. So for that, first let's go to our website and understand something. Let me scroll down and let's say that I have this form here, right? So what if I want to fire a tag when this input is clicked? I know that we can do that using the class selector, right? We can simply say that, okay, the class should be this. But one thing to notice there is that the class of the element can keep changing. And if we write our code based on the class, like if we, specify the condition of firing our tag based on the class, then it will break down because this is not permanent. This can keep changing. But something that is more permanent than the class is this name attribute here. This does not generally change. It is pretty constant and remains the same throughout. So using auto event variable, we can fetch this and set this as a condition instead of the class. So let's see how can we do that. Let's go to Google Tag Manager first, and inside the variables, if we click new and we select variable configuration as auto event variable, then we have a list. Most of these are already like available to us, but this one right here, element attribute, is what we can use to our advantage. So if let's say I provide name here, then the attribute of the name will be available to us. Like the value of the name attribute will be available to us inside this variable. I have already created it. So let's have a look. So I have named this as AEV name. And this is a variable type of auto event, and it is collecting element attribute name, right? So now let us go to preview mode and see what is it actually doing. So if we go to variable here and we go here, so right now this is not showing any value because we have not clicked anywhere having the name attribute. Now let's say I click here, go back. Now, if I see that it is showing enter your name as the EV name attribute value, right? So basically, this helped us to fetch the value of the name attribute for this particular input and store it under the variable name AEV name, right? And if I see the other click, the value is updated because I clicked here as well. So we can use auto event variable to pull out the attribute value and use them instead of the class. So this is how we can use auto event and custom event variable in Google Tag Manager. Thank you.